Today I'm going to be showing you how to add data that already exists in ArcGIS. So we'll look at how to find the data, how to add it, how to change the style depending what you're trying to show, and then some other professional details. So you should already have your country outline, which is probably helpful, but if you don't, go back through sector and look for the instructions on how to do this. So to add data that already exists, just make sure you're on the layers tab over here, and then you can click add. If it's already existing, it will be on the browse layers, but if you were going to add your own, which I will show you how to do in another video, you need to actually click the arrow to do that. But we're looking for stuff that already exists, so we'll just click add. Now this is, you probably won't have many things on here. This is the data that I've created myself, but this is where it's kind of like the search engine. So a little bit like, are you going to look through Google? Are you going to look through whatever else? The ones that you will need to use the most will either be Living Atlas or ArcGIS Online. It is worth looking through both, but we'll just go to ArcGIS Online for now. This is kind of like the Google of looking for data on here, but it's like Google in the sense that you type in what you're looking for and it goes through all the databases that it has, but you do need to make sure that things are spelled correctly, because it's not literally like Google where it will be able to understand spelling errors. Okay, so let's pretend I'm trying to show drought and food insecurity in Somalia. So first thing first, I might write Somalia drought. You can have a look and see, is there anything here that might be useful? Okay, so Somalia drought, 2016 is a little bit old, don't really want that. Keep on looking, see if I can find what I want. And this looks pretty good here because it's from either of these, 2025, and it's Somalia. So I'm going to add this. It's always good to have a read of this so you can actually see what it is. I don't expect you to understand everything that it says, so you might need to Google things. All right, here is that layer that's just been added. Now, a few things I can already see is, because I have done my research into Somalia, it looks strange to me that there is such little amount of drought. Now, I just know this because I know what the map should look like because I've done my research, and this is actually done incorrectly. So I would always want to be checking drought baseline indicator risk index. If I just go to Google, drought baseline indicator risk index scores, and it will tell you what the scores actually represent. So here, let's just check the scale down to from 0 to 1. You should be able to do some research and find out what it actually means. Now, I have done my research and know this, I just need to find, here we go. Like that. So you'd want to, I'm going to have to edit this to fix it, but I'll show you that later. Okay, so over here is where you can pick your style. This makes perfect sense because the colors show the more intense and less intense areas of drought, but like I said, I don't actually like the way that this is organized, and your average person will have no idea what this actually means. So to make a really effective legend or an effective map, we need to make that more clear. So given I'm happy with this, we're going to click style options. And here is where I want to change some things. Now, it has been a minute since I've done this, so I am going to have to remember how to do this. I might just pause my recording for a moment while I figure this out. I just did a little bit of research, and yes, so for this example here, a score closer to 1 represents very wet areas or no drought, and a score closer to 0 represents very dry areas or extreme risk of drought. So this legend doesn't actually match up to that, because the way these colors look is, you would think that the darker color means more drought because it's using red. So red usually means dry, while the lighter would mean less dry. So this is a little bit backwards. So what we need to do is we need to fix this so it is a lot more clear. So because this is the area with the least amount of drought, I'm going to make that yellow. Why is that not changing? Oh, here we go. Yellow. This one here, yeah, it's going to go in the same kind of pattern that's kind of already there, but just swapping the colours around a little bit until you're happy with how they look. Sorry, this may take a while, but that is just how things go. It's okay if things aren't done quickly and perfectly. Alright. Maybe a little bit lighter, and then this one can be the totally dark. There we go. Now that is much more accurate, and we can clearly see the areas. Now that's a little bit harsh on the eye, so I might change it slightly. It's still a little bit harsh on the eyes. I think it's the grade that's doing that. Oops. I think it's the grade that's making it like that. Is this? Yeah, okay. So that's a bit better. All right. That looks like that. Now still people don't know what these numbers mean, so we just want to add, I don't like how big they are, that's weird, but we'll go no drought risk, we'll just say low drought risk, moderate. I will confirm these exact numbers with my research in a moment. Okay, but now you can see it doesn't matter if you know what the numbers mean or not. We're adding the numbers because it's accurate, but we're also adding these descriptors here. Now let's just double check if we can find out what these mean. A good way is to also just go to ChatGPT and just say, I am creating a legend for baseline drought risk in Somalia measured from 0 to 1. The categories are 0 to 0.2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and 8 to 1. Gotta add these decimals. How can I describe these? E.g. no drought risk. There you go. So it will give you an accurate description. Okay, so that's done. That looks really good and happy. This name is a little, it's strange to put that on a legend because it doesn't look like professional writing. So to do that, you want to head back to our list of layers, go rename, and we can say drought base, or we could just say drought risk indicator. And we want to make sure our outline is on top. Beautiful. That looks really good. Okay, now I want to add another layer of data. So I'm now showing where the drought is, but I want to do a multivariable map that shows more information. So now I want to show where the areas of malnutrition or maybe food insecurity are. So I'm going to look on ArcGIS Online, Somalia food insecurity, and let's have a look. Somalia humanitarian needs by sector. Now this is a little old, but for the sake of, I might check this one out actually. I'll look at this one after. I've used this one before, so I'm just going to use this one for now. Okay. Now this is a really interesting one because this, if we have a read, is actually just showing the number of people in need of help of some kind in Somalia. It is not necessarily specific to food insecurity alone, but notice how it's come up as these circles. Now, what we can do is, what this means here, this where it says choose attributes, is what is actually being represented on the map. Now, currently it says pin total. That means people in need total. So how many people in Somalia need help by region. I figured that out because I simply typed in Google, what does PIN mean in its context. So I actually don't really want to show everyone in need. I just want to show maybe the people in need of food security. But if you scroll through here, you can see different things to represent on the map. So I'll go food security total. And again, this is a number of people in need of food security. And so by showing this, the bigger the circle, the more people are in need. And we'll be able to match up seeing places with less drought, such as these lighter orange places, typically have lower food security needs in these bigger places in the darker shades of drought. Now, it's not a perfect relationship, but that's okay. So high to low, style options, you might want to change the way it looks. You might like it, but you might change it. And you might at least want to do transparency just so you can see the color under it. You might want to add an outline color, it's up to you, whatever you think makes it more visible. For future, like whatever you're doing, you can also change the symbols. So you might, I wouldn't do it for this example, but you can change it to be a different shape, or you can just change like these images and choose, oh, maybe we could do it for this example. Have a look and see if there's anything relevant. Just makes it more clear to people. Let's see if I can find one that's food related. If you're doing malaria or something, this would be pretty cool. Okay. Oh, conflict. That's pretty cool. Alright, I did see a plant or something up here, so I might go for that. That's food security. I'd like to change the color though. I wonder if it lets me do that. See, I'm also learning. Oh, not really. It doesn't really let you change the color. That's kind of okay, but yeah, now I can't see what's behind here. So I will go back to what I had before. So that's why, ooh, what's happened? That's why you just want to be really careful with the way you are selecting symbols and making choices. Okay, cool, awesome. So that's that. And making sure you always click done so it's there. Once again, I want to go back and change this because I'm not showing all the humanitarian needs. I'm showing Somalia, food, say people at risk, people experiencing food insecurity. Now I'm including admin 1. This is basically like the area, so it might be by state or something like that. Not every state is covered, so anyway. Now I'm going to leave this on top of these just because if I put this down, see how, oh, it's not doing it now, but the line goes over the shape and it just looks a little messy. So I just put this on top and this looks a bit better. Nice. Now you'll also see that the names of the cities are all behind, like behind the drought. If that is important to you for whatever reason, you can go to labels and you can go, I think it's this one. No, it'll be under the drought risk, add label class, admin. Okay, this is interesting. This might be why the data is actually a little messed up, because the individual states or cities or whatever they are here, they're actually admin 2 regions, whereas these bigger circles are basing it off admin 1 region. So it's kind of like comparing drought risk by, say, town or city, whereas it's looking at malnutrition, or sorry, food insecurity by whole state. But anyway, that's okay. For the sake of this video, you're at least seeing what to do. So if you wanted to add place names, you can do that too, if that is important for you. If not, then you don't have to do that. Okay, so that is how to add those features and manipulate them to be what you would like them to be. I will show you one more thing that might be really relevant. So if I look for conflict, for example, this has nothing to do with this topic, but this is just a great way to show you something else. Okay, if I click on this, now this is just showing all the instances of conflict around the world. Let's have a look. Okay, so you'll see all these little dots and things everywhere. Once again, if you go to styles, you can select what it is that you're wanting to show. So we can see, hang on, let's get rid of, let's add fatalities. I want to get rid of something. Oh, I see. Okay, so again, it's all these different styles that you can choose. This one here is showing of all the conflict in the world, the color is the predominant category. So obviously places will experience lots of types of conflict. So this place in Sudan will have a range of, here we go, you can see battles, explosions, violence against civilians, protests, lots of things. But because it's just one single color that you have chosen, then it's just showing like the main conflict happening in that particular area. But we can also see that it is doing it by size. So you'll notice that some dots are bigger than others, and this is how many different conflicts are occurring in that area. What you can do is click through and choose the best. If you only want to show the category, so the main type of conflict, then you would do that. But if you know that there's numerous types of conflict, it is always fun to do one of these. So again, the size might show how many there are, and then they're all little pie charts, and you can actually see what's happening there. So we can see in this area, they mostly have battles and some explosions, and you can see that overwhelming number there compared to this place over here, which is mostly just other, whatever that means. This place here is mostly just protests, and we know that other events aren't happening. It's a small circle because it's not that much. So yeah, you can play around with how you want to represent things as well. And of course it will also let you change how that appears as well. You can change whether you want it to be a whole circle or whether you want it to be more like this. But you can choose that. You can choose the maximum number of colors that you want it to actually show. Keep it something easy to read. You can also change the size. So how big do you want them to be at the smallest size? And again, changing that to the ease of readability. Anyway, I thought I would throw that in just to show you how interesting it is that you can represent something in this way or in this way, and of course one helps make patterns or trends or just gives information more clearly to the readers. So that's all I'm going to show for this video. So we have gone through how to add data that's already in the system, so how to find it, how to add it, and how to change the style. Once again, it does take time, and it really is just about searching for what is there. It might take you a bit to see it. You need to kind of know what you're looking for, and you will get better as time goes on. And it is a bit of trial and error. So you do want to take the time to have a look and see what you can find. It might help to type in your country name, to maybe type in your country and whatever it is that you are looking for, and see what you can find. If it works, yay. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can add it yourself, which I'll show you in another video. If you can't find it for your country, you might want to just type in the issue in general and see what you can find. But be careful, some things do just relate to the UK or USA, and you can find that out by, does it look like your country or not, and so on. Alright, I will stop that here because I hope this has helped show you how to add data or find data and represent it. Alright, enjoy.